Okay, guys, welcome back. Today, inshallah, we're going to check that we understood lesson 2 of chapter 7. We try to answer the following question together. So if you know the answer of the question, please raise your hand, okay? And I will pick the one who answered the question, okay? So the first question asks you to write your own definition or write in your own words a definition for term trait. So what is trait? So we studied trait before and we know what is trait. So try to formalize it in your own words, okay? What is trait? If you know the answer, just raise your hand, guys. Yes, Uta?
Trait is a characteristic that is passed from parents to offspring.
So trait is, so we can say trait is a form of a characteristic that passes from parents to offspring. That's good, okay? So you can say, we said that we inherit DNA from our parents. So this DNA carry genes, and these genes are responsible for certain characteristics. So this characteristic could found in alternative forms, okay? We call them traits. So what is trait? We can say it's a form of characteristic that inherited from the parents or passed from parents to offspring. Good word. Thank you, Uta. Anyone have any question? If there is something not clear, just raise your hand and ask. Okay, guys? So question number 2, use the following terms in the same sentence: selective breeding and natural selection. Okay, Hannah.
Selective breeding happens when humans intervene, but natural selection occurs naturally.
Good, okay. So we can say that selective breeding, okay, it's a man-made or an artificial way of breeding, while natural selection is a natural process, okay? That's good, okay. Or we can say that selective breeding is a process to select passing of certain traits within generations, while natural selection is a natural process which picks certain traits to pass within generations. Clear, guys? Is it clear? Do you know what the difference is? It clear the difference between selective breeding and natural selection, guys?
Yes.
Anyone don't understand the difference between them? Need to clarify it more? Clear for everyone? Okay, so then we pass to the third question. We see that more modern scientific explanations of evolution, so choose, have, replaced Darwin theory, rely on genetics instead of natural selection, fail to explain how traits are inherited, combine the principles of natural selection and genetic inheritance. Okay, so what do you think? Yes, Farah? D, combine the principles of natural selection and genetic inheritance. Good, okay. So as we said, okay, Darwin put his theory, okay, actually, or the idea of natural selection based on the differences in traits between individuals of living organisms in a species or a population. So that means these differences in traits based on the differences in DNA. So somehow the idea of natural selection and the genetic inheritance, they are related. That means regarding to the difference in the DNA between or among the individuals of a species, they have different traits. Some of these traits make some individuals able to adapt more than others, so they are more fit with, or they are fittest with the environmental conditions, so they could survive while others cannot. Okay. Then question 4, describes observations that Darwin made about the species on the Galapagos Islands. Okay, so let's find Farah Hashim. Yes.
The answer will be that Galapagos Islands are found 965 kilometers west of Ecuador, and it's a country in South America.
He don't ask what describe Galapagos Island. No, he asked what the observation that Darwin made about species. What about the species in Galapagos Island? The species means the living organism he studied in this island. What the observations he noted about them? Okay, so anyone know the answer, guys?
Yes.
Okay, yes, Ulta?
That the animals in Galapagos Islands is similar to the ones in west of Ecuador, but it's not actually identical.
Yeah, so he observed that the animals which found in Ecuador and Galapagos Island, they look similar. They belong to the same species, but actually, okay, or they are somehow related, but they're not identical. They have some differences based on the way of feeding, on how they live, which based on their niche. Okay, so like that, Darwin started to put the idea of the natural selection that these little differences make them are able to adapt with the different conditions which found in Galapagos Island and Ecuador. Okay, so the observation that species in both they were similar but not identical. Clear, guys?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So question 5, he asks you summarize the ideas that Darwin developed from book by Malthus and Lyell. Okay, so what the ideas he just developed after reading the books of these two scientists. What about others? Adham, could you please answer this question? Adham?
question number كم يا مستر
5.
5 طيب.
Yes.
Yeah. أول حاجة that the earth is much older than everyone had expected.
Okay.
وتاني حاجة ثانية واحدة. That there are four stages of نسيت اسم الكلمة ثانية واحدة.
Take your time.
نسيت اسم الكلمة. هي four stages of حاجة كده اللي هي over production و successful reproduction
Natural selection.
أيوة.
Okay.
There are four stages of natural selection which are overproduction, successful reproduction, inherited variation, or struggle to survive.
So these the ideas which Darwin developed after the Malthus and Lyell book. You agree with him, guys? Ulta, do you have another opinion or the same?
Mister, I wrote that he noticed that survivors inherit traits that help them in their environment, and I wrote also that the Earth is much older than anyone thinks.
Yep, that's the idea. That's the simple one. Actually, the 4 stages of the natural selection that's the concept which is already Darwin get it. Okay, but what the idea is that lead him to he'll get 2 ideas from the 2 scientists. First, according to the Malthus, that some traits enable living organisms to adapt more with the surrounding or within the environment. And from Lyell, he discovered that the Earth is age is very old, or it's just found from a long time ago, which give enough time for the evolution. So both of these ideas push Darwin to start to establish his theory about natural selection. Okay, so it's good. What your answer, Adham, is actually true, but we just need to clarify that the 4 steps of the natural selection, or the idea of natural selection, based on the observation of Malthus that some traits enable living organisms to adapt more with the environment. Okay. Thank you, Farah. Thank you, Adham. Question number 6, he asks you describe the 4 parts of Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. Okay, so Adam just did them, so anyone could answer this question again, please, guys. Other people. Bhumika, Mahi, Mahad. Hey guys, wake up. Yes, Jenna?
Yes, Mister.
Yeah.
First part is the overproduction,
Yes.
and the second part,
What happens in overproduction? Just give me a little explanation.
that the eggs, some will die and some will survive.
Okay, so we don't stick, it's not must to stick the idea of the spiders. We just say in overproduction, that means the
And
living, yeah, the
and
living
the
organism keep
offsprings
reproducing and producing a lot of offspring. Then, second step.
is the inherited variation.
Yes, okay. So among this or among individuals which are produced or the generation of living organisms, we have different genetic variety or different traits. Good. Then,
And then the struggle to survive,
yes, we said that once the
that
food or
predators would kill them.
okay, we see that once the resources are limited, there is a kind of struggle for existence, or there is a kind of competition between them, leads some to survive and the others to die. Yes or no?
Die.
Yes. So
Yes.
that leads to the fourth step, which is
Successful reproduction.
yes. We said that individuals who has a who have a traits enable them to survive, okay, or enable them to adapt with the environmental conditions, they could survive while others not. You get this idea? So we don't stick to the example of spiders only. We just, that's a common thing. Okay, natural selection happened to all living organisms. We said we must pass by four steps. First step, the resources are available and it is not limited. So in that case, the living organisms, they will keep reproduce and produce a lot of offspring. So their number will increase. Among these individuals or the offspring which are produced in different generations, there are genetic variety or genetic diversity. They are not exactly the same. So once the food become not enough, and that will happen because already their numbers increases. So like this, okay, the food will be limited or the resources will be limited. In that case, there will be a kind of a struggle for existence or a kind of struggle to keep alive. In this struggle, we're gonna find, because they are already different, they are not the same. Some of them, they have some characteristics make them more able to adapt with the environment conditions, make them better to get food, better to escape, better to hide, better to hunt, whatever what the environmental conditions need. So here, the fittest one will survive, while the others they will extinct it. So that's what we call the last stage, which is success, surviving or successful to keep alive. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Question number 7. He asks you, what knowledge did Darwin lack that modern scientists now use to explain evolution? Okay, yes, Hannah Hani.
He knew that organisms inherit traits, but he didn't know how they inherit traits.
That's good, okay. So could anyone answer in another words? Do you have any answer, guys? Any other answer? You need to modify something?
Yes.
Oh, yes, Jenna?
Um, that he doesn't know how variation happen, and it happens as a result of genes differences.
Good, that's good, okay. So here, actually, the knowledge which Darwin lacked, that Darwin already knows that we get a genetic variation due to the sexual reproduction happens or due to passing of traits from parents to offspring. But actually, he doesn't know about genetics in that time. So he doesn't know how this variation happens or why, okay, or doesn't know about the DNA. So he doesn't understand that the new combination of the DNA of the two parents, okay, each time produce new individual with new characteristics or with new traits. So he lacked the knowledge of genetics. So he doesn't know how the genetic variation happen each time during sexual reproduction, or how the genetic variation happen among individuals of the same species. Okay, good. Question number 8 here. He asks you, in a sample of 80 petals, okay, 50 petals has 4 spots each, and each and the rest had 6 spots. Okay, what was the average number of spots per petal? Okay, so could you find this? Anyone can answer this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes, Uta, could you tell us how you can answer this one?
For the 50 petals that have 4 spots, we'll multiply the number.
So
We'll have
4 multiply 50,
and
200, excellent.
200. And 30 multiply the rest of the petals, which is
So
30
multiply 6.
the 6 spots.
Excellent. So let's try.
180.
So good. So let's try to write it here. We are going to say that 50 multiply 4. So it equal 200 spots. And the others, they are 30. The rest of the 80 multiply 6. So they are going to have 180 spots. So the total number of spots is
380.
So we are going to add these two numbers together. So we're going to have 380 spots. That's the total number of the spots for all the petals. So each petal could have, we're going to divide this by
80.
So 380 spot will be divided by 80. So what is the result?
4.75 spots per one petal.
Yeah, 4.7. Okay, spot. Okay, so we can say 5 approximately. Okay, approximately it will be 5 spots for each one. Okay, got it, guys? Anyone can't understand this?
Yes.
Who can't understand? Jenna?
لا I understand.
You understood it?
خلاص.
Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. So any question regarding this part? Any question regarding to this part, guys?
No.
Okay. So here, let's pass to the next part or the next question. Question 9, making comparison in selective breeding, humans influences the occurs of evolution and what determined the course, the course of evolution in natural selection. Okay, so Noor, yes.
Natural forces.
So making comparison, he asked in selective breeding, humans influence the course of evolution. What determines the course of evolution in natural selection? So, yep, what do you say? What mean by natural forces? Yeah, more clarification.
Other organisms.
Other organisms.
Yeah.
So, how the human interference by selective breeding could affect that?
Not really.
Anyone have an idea, guys, how to answer this question?
Yes.
Okay, so anyone else, guys? Salma, where are you? Mahi, Mihad, Pumika. Still sleeping? Yes, Uta?
That they will inherit different and varied traits, and the best trait would help the animal to survive and reproduce.
That is natural selection or selective breeding?
Like selective breeding will occur like many times until they find their desired trait.
So here, guys, the question asking that you know the difference between selective breeding that is man-made while the natural selection already happened because of the environmental conditions or natural forces, as Noor said. He asks now how the selective breeding, okay, could affect the course of evolution. So this selective breeding, it may help in evolution or not. So that the point, we need to find the interference between the selective breeding and the natural selection.
It would help.
It would help and may not.
May.
The idea is in selective breeding, human already select individuals would have desirable traits. These desirable traits or the traits you want to pass to the new if this trait is needed or enable this living organism to adapt or not. That's the point, yes or no? For example, may I select the dogs to breed together to just get a dog with very long fur or very long fur to look like nice or something like that. Okay, but actually the environmental conditions in that place is too hot, so this long fur is not desirable for the environmental or is not supported by the environmental conditions. Yes or no? So in that case, it will not help in evolution, or actually this kind of dogs will not be supported to survive in hot places. You get the idea? You get this idea, guys?
Yes.
So that means
Yes.
in natural selection, humans select the desirable trait for themselves, but actually these desirable traits not all the time could be the best to adapt with the surrounding environment. So it depends here, guys. Okay, so we said that, or we can answer this question. We said that in natural selection, humans, okay, select the breeders select the different, or select the organism with desirable traits to ensure that the traits will pass to their offspring. The desirable traits may be supported by environmental conditions, so it helps in evolution or surviving of this kind of living organism, or it may not supported by the environmental conditions, so they will not pass within the natural selection process. You get it, guys? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, mister.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So question number 10. He said that suppose that an island in Pacific Ocean was just formed by a volcano. Over the next million years, how might species evolve in this island? So that's just a hypothesis or just a kind of assumption. So here, let's find you how your ideas could answer, or how you could answer this question based on the scientific facts which we studied about evolution, guys. So anyone have an idea? Hmm. Anyone have an idea, or just think what would happen that there is a volcano just erupt and make a kind of island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? So after a million years, could we find a kind of life on this island?
Yes.
Yes, we can. So what how the life on that island will look like, or how it's going to be evolved? Okay.
Maybe seeds would be carried by wind to the
Seeds will
island,
carried
which
by wind, okay, or it's so good, and that will lead to appearance of plants, and then some animals will survive. We ask about the evolution after a million years. The species which already found in this island, or that they already start life on this island after a million years, that mean a lot of natural selection will happen. So, what do you think? How the life will be formed? That mean what the most dominant kind of living organism, or what are the characteristics that could be found in the living organism which found in this island? What do you think?
they are able to swim and
Good,
at the same time live
brilliant.
at
Yes, brilliant. They're able
the
to swim, or
island.
they could able to live underwater because they already surrounded by water. Okay, and this volcano, or this island, as it made of volcanoes, so that means doesn't support a lot of, or doesn't provide a lot of food resources. So in that case, the animals which have the chance, okay, they could swim, or they could hunt fish or something like that from the water, so they will be able to survive rather than the others. Yes or no? So after millions of years, we're gonna find that most of the living organisms which found in this island, they should have the ability to swim or survive underwater, or even some species will evolve it to be aquatic living organisms instead of terrestrial living organisms. Yes or no?
Yes.
You get the idea, guys? Like the whale. Do you remember we said that the whale starts as four leg terrestrial living organisms that live on land, and then it starts to evolve to be, okay, like the modern whale which we have. You get this?
Yes.
So anyone have any question regarding to this part, guys? Any question?
No.
So like this, we finished, okay, this part, or we finished that lesson. So please study this very well, and if you have any question, we can answer it later, inshallah. Okay.